a good win for us. It's a really good team, and for us to finish off a tough week, probably our toughest week of the season. In terms of opponent, when you look at last Monday, we're playing home against Notre Dame, and then on the road against Syracuse, and now home against NC State, and so just really pleased to go 2-1 in that stretch and get another quality win. Our team just keeps growing, they keep improving, they keep getting better, and wasn't perfect tonight, but I'm proud of how they executed and handled the run there in the second half, and were able to finish it off with a win. Well, I thought we were much more locked in defensively than we were in the first meeting over there. And we had talked a lot about the start in the sense that they had kind of jumped on us over there, and we had wanted just to play better. I couldn't script it like we would jump on them, but I hoped that we would be sharper, a little more disciplined. I thought we were to start, and then just executed, our actions early on that gave us a lead.
Obviously, your team, we all know your teams like to run, but it seemed like today was maybe even more of an emphasis on that than usual. On your team, it was get the ball and go. It was every possession seemed like.
Well, we feel like we have multiple ball handlers out there at any given time, and they have the freedom when they get the rebound to go. We don't have to wait for the point guard. So, I thought our pace, yes, in the beginning was really, really good, and obviously T, Ashlyn, Reagan, even Jaden is able to push the pace, and we're just better when we run. I mean, we're a better offense, more efficient offense when we can get out in transition.
And State only had one assist in the first half, 6 for the game. You talk a little bit about that. Wiss said his team played with blinders on, but you guys had something to do with that. Can you just talk about that?
I mean, listen, they're a really good team. I was worried, for the last couple nights how we were going to guard them, and they have so many players that can be explosive at any given moment, that can go for 20 or 25. So I think for us it was just try to limit the quality looks that they got, try to be in their face as much as we could, not let them get too many open shots, and then try to limit them to one shot, which we didn't do great at. They got 13 offensive boards. I thought, Baldwin really bothered us with her rebounding and her size and her strength in there, and she did a great job. But we just want to make people make tough plays, and if they're capable of making them, then, you just congratulate them and say, good job. I mean, that's the game. They certainly have a talented group.
You mentioned back in the game, back in Reynolds, that this is how young a team y'all have. But today, Mayer had a freshman, your leading scorer. Donovan had 6 rebounds and 3 steals. Just how you describe the evolution of those young players as the season's gone along.
Yeah, they've just grown right before our eyes, and they've been able to, through the course of a really challenging schedule. It's not easy to grow in the midst of the ACC. Because you're getting your head beat in almost every night, and it's hard to navigate when you're a senior. I mean, it's hard to win in this league when you're experienced, let alone young. And so, listen, like we're playing a lot of freshmen, we're playing a lot of underclassmen. I have 8 of my 11 are underclassmen. So what they've been able to navigate, I'm just really proud of them and how they've continued to chase growth through the year. Even when we would lose a game, they would come in, practice the next day, just fired up and ready to go and ready to learn. They're very coachable, and so they're reaping some of those rewards of just staying coachable and playing hard. You get better, and I felt like if we could, stay positive, keep improving, that we'd be a team, in the postseason that would be hard to play against. I don't know that we're there yet, but I think every week they keep showing signs of growth.
Coach Kennedy told us that the first thing you guys work on in practice is defense. You tell us a lot that you want your team to be defensively minded. What's it like with 8 of 11 underclassmen finally maybe buying into that and understanding and realizing what happens when they do the things that you ask them to and the way they can come out and win games like these?
Yeah, I mean, the great thing about this group is they bought in from the beginning to whatever we've asked them to do. And that's just the type of character they have and the type of coaches they've had, the type of parents they have to be able to come in and just want to do what they need to do to help the team win. And, yeah, I mean, we place an emphasis on it in terms of it's the one side of the floor you can control more than the other side. And so, you can't control whether you make shots, but you can control how you play and how you defend. And our players have bought into that and bought into each other more than that. That's the thing that makes me really happy as a coach and smile when I observe them. I smile a lot when I'm observing them because they've really bought into each other. And that more than anything is more important than buying into a system or buying into even the coaching staff. Like, do they have incredible buy-in with one another because they want to win with each other? And that's awesome. I mean, that to me is like the pinnacle of team, and why you coach team sports is to get a group that really just wants to do it for one another.
State got a lot of their points off of free throws early. That's been something that has kind of hurt you guys a little this year, but how pleased were you with the team's ability to respond to that and just not let that get to them?
Yeah, I mean, listen, you knew they were going to make a run, and they made a couple at us, and I thought we handled that pretty well by being able to get stops when we needed them and then make enough plays. I thought Mayor late, made just big time plays to be able to keep that distance, that double figure distance. We didn't do everything perfect in terms of their pressure and turning it over and things like that. But she, with the ball in her hand, she was steady late and made a couple big time shots.
Would you mind talking a bit more about what this win means to you and the team, especially after your earlier loss to NC earlier in the season?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we played them twice every year. I think that goes away next year, but they're one of the best programs in our league and one of the best programs in the country every year. It's hard to play them. They're very well prepared. They're very talented. They play well together. So whenever you lose to a team, certainly there's a desire to try and win. If you get a second chance to try and win. And so our group was excited for another opportunity to play against them. And it feels good to be able to even the season series.
Coach, when you look at the way Reagan started, with her, how she was shooting early on in the first quarter, especially, how she finished the game, the passing in the paint, it felt like this group really had one of their, had really some really highs offensively. Did you feel kind of that offensive growth in this game, especially against a team like NC State?
Yeah, I mean, I think I see and feel offensive growth really daily with them. They're figuring out how to navigate situations and how to create opportunities for one another, and try to become a better passing team is something we've emphasized with them. Attack and be aggressive, and if it's not there, get off the ball and make a good, accurate pass to your teammates so they can do something good with it, whether it's shoot it or finish it in the lane. And so all of our guards have grown in that throughout the course of the year. And, Reagan has the ability to get going. I feel like at any moment, as long as, she's playing at the right pace, she's somebody that can score, and she's very athletic and strong. And so her starting off the game well, I think, just gave our whole group confidence.
Congratulations again, Coach Lawson. You're known for famously telling your team to handle hard better. How do you think the girls have followed up on this as they've embarked on one of the toughest schedules in the ACC this season?
I mean, for our group, we've just embraced what our schedule was. I mean, we had a really tough non-conference schedule. I think we have the highest strength of schedule of any team in the ACC, and if we don't, we're second. I mean, we played one of the harder schedules, non-conference and conference. And what I said about it to our players is this is how you measure yourself. You want to play the top teams. You want to play the hard games because that's where it's really revealing about where you are. It tells you where you are when you play a really hard team, and it reveals where your strengths are and where your weaknesses are and where you need to grow. If you're playing bad teams, it's not revealing what you need to improve on. So we wanted to challenge ourselves, and I think they've handled these challenges really well.
Kara, Kennedy went out of her way a couple of times to talk about how good the scout was going into the game, how Duke had a really good feel for where State was going to be, what they were trying to run, where they were going to do it, all that sort of thing. Can you address that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I think just before every game, our assistant coaches do a great job of preparing our team and just try to alert them of what we think they'll run and how we're going to defend it. Obviously, there's a scheme part associated with that as well, and it's good they listen. And when they listen and they execute it, then a lot of times it does work pretty well. But I think their their ability to, they being the players, their ability to consume a scout and then apply it is like way improved, if that makes sense. Like they would get the scout early in the year and they're not consuming it as well. They were studying it, but I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but like, you're consuming it and like you're able to apply it. So now like it's just more, they know what they're doing as a team, the group, especially the young players, where in the beginning it just probably looked like a foreign language to them of what it was, and they were like maybe memorizing what was going on, but they didn't understand like how to apply that to their game in the game. And now they're able to do that, and that's part of the growth of like a young team is now they get the scout and it's like, oh, and then they're out there and they're like, oh, like you can see them understanding it and anticipating, and their communication is different. Most of my freshmen didn't talk hardly at all in the beginning. Now they're calling plays out. Now they're calling scheme. Now they're doing that. And that's just the maturation, of a group. And so I think their ability, I think the scouts have been good all year, I think the ability to apply it for our young players has improved a ton.